I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Our world and their world
Noids do not have sex with doodles.
are about to collide.
Indulge your majesty. I'm made of ink, but I'm no dream.
But Ollie said we could watch.
A man is in the bedroom. Come on, make me real.
This is the biggest disaster the cool world has ever seen.
Let me.
Cool World.
I just want to be real.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, July 10th.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Wes. Thank you so much for that. And it's from Wes, but he wanted me to review Cool World. Now, this was a custom Blu-ray I got for free because I bought a couple other stuff from this guy, very generous guy, and something happened. He threw this in for free. I'm like, cool, I'll take it for free. Free is free. I'll take almost anything for free. Free's free. Why not? What's wrong with free? But Cool World, again, is not an official Blu-ray, but the guy does a wonderful job on it. And it's directed by Ralph Bakshi. And just I let people just look at the pictures. Because I always thought this had an interesting poster. Which is funny because Brad Pitt has a gun. He like never uses the fucking gun in the movie. Again, it's one of those weird things like, yeah, he never does use the fucking gun. Why? Has a gun, never fucking uses it one time in the movie. The thing with this flick, I thought the trailer had a nice vibe to it with the music, like the Peter Gunn theme in the trailer. Brad Pitt, I liked as an actor. Gabriel Byrne, I've liked him and stuff. I love him as the devil in End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Kim Basinger, I enjoy as an actress. The plot, I mean, Ralph Bakshi, if you don't know who that is, he directed stuff like Fritz the Cat and 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. Legendary, quirky cartoonist. And him doing a higher budgeted movie in the 90s seems like it could lead to very interesting avenues to take a trip on. But the problem is, working with the studio, you kind of find out a lot of times that could be a big fuck up. Now what I mean by that is the movie was sold as a hard R animated live action horror film. I mean, that's what this was supposed to be to begin with. A live action, live animated R-rated horror movie. Where the plot was going to be a cartoon and a human give birth to a hybrid child. Part human, part cartoon. Who visits the real world. And he wants to kill the father who abandoned him. That sounds like a much more interesting story than the story we got, which is I almost want to say a half-assed version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it doesn't really have the plot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I say that because Kim Basinger might remind you a bit of Just a Rabbit, with how it's humanoid, sexy, but Brad Pitt as a cop, Bob Hoskins, detective of some sort. At least he was back in the day with his brother, and his brother died. Anyway. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a great movie. In fact, I want to get that sometime on Blu-ray. Classic film. Love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But this one... Well, okay, what I was going to say... The original concept art that Ralph Bakshi used to pitch the film was much more disturbing. Character design stylistically similar to those found in Frank Miller's Sin City. But then Frank Mancuso Jr., who produced this, and yes, he did produce many of the Friday the 13th films, him and Kim Basinger, which I think the director wanted Drew Barrymore, but they're like, get Kim Basinger. Her and Frank Mancuso Jr., they wanted a movie that was softer. And they wanted it PG. Granted, the MPA said, fuck this, it's PG-13. Kim Basinger was saying stuff like, I want to show this to sick kids at hospitals. And Ralph Bakshi's like, Kim, I'm not the guy to direct that movie. So Kim Basinger seemed like I don't know what the fuck. I liked you, Kim. I think you're a good actress. I don't know what the fuck you were doing with this movie. Does this look like something that should be a PG film? Kim, the way you look here. You read the script. Where a toon is fucking a human. But you want to say you want to make a film that you just show kids at a hospital. I don't know what... What in the fuck? If someone can explain it to me, please feel free. Brad Pitt, he's still in his early phase of his acting career, so there's some edges on the armor, some rough edges on the armor. Okay, when it starts off, he's a World War II vet. He takes his mom out on his motorcycle, which that was a funny. That just made me laugh. Just the idea of, I'm gonna take my mom. We're gonna ride on a motorcycle together. I've never ever seen any movie about a guy taking his mom to put in front of him and ride on a motorcycle. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. I'm like, wow. Usually you take your girlfriend maybe, or your wife or something, maybe of that, but I don't know, or maybe it's like little kids, and you have the bigger kid, the smaller kid, but I don't take my 56-year-old woman and put her in front of a fucking motorcycle. What bad things could happen with this? Well, something bad does happen, because there's these assholes driving drunk, boom, crash, flip over motorcycle, the ma dies. And Brad Pitt is crying, and he's hurt, and this cartoon professor who's doing this experiment to go to real world sees him, brings him over to their world, and this shows Brad Pitt's acting isn't the best in this scene, because he's not the best interacting with other cartoons. Like, you compare it to Bob Hoskins and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, this is a big difference. Like Brad Pitt, granted, I get his character's supposed to be shell-shocked because his mom just died. But then he's looking days like this, up you off, and Brad Pitt's like, wait a minute, you cartoons. You're not real. Like, he sounds drunk. Sometimes sounds like a drunk Jack Nicholson. And, again, I get it. He's supposed to be out of it because his mom just died and he's trying to process it. But then either rework the scene. He's sad about his mom. He goes through his grief, and then you get to the scene where the professor's giving him his physical checkup, so that he doesn't sound like a drunk Jack Nicholson going, "You cartoon, hey, you're cartoon, you're not real." But Brad Pitt does get better. He does get better. And then it's many years later, we jump to the 90s, and Gabriel Byrne gets out of prison. Now, the issue with Gabriel Byrne's character is you know nothing about this guy. Like, he's in prison, he's ready to get out, boom, he goes right into Cool World. Holly wants to seduce him because she wants to go to the real world and be real. But they do almost nothing with Gabriel Byrne's character to develop him. The best you get is you get a little bit of dialogue that apparently he killed someone 10 or so years ago who's in bed with his wife. And they don't really go much into that. Like, there's no conversations about him discussing what happened that night, what he was feeling, the guilt, the sadness. Yeah, I wish I could take it back. Nothing to it. You know nothing about him. He got out of prison. That one bit I just told you, that's all you know about this guy. But he's one of our main characters, and we're supposed to... He's just along for the ride, I guess. Now, I've been saying a lot of negatives. The positives of this film, the animation. I do like the animation. I like the creativity. I like the imagination. When you see a lot of these type of cartoons. It does try to do a little bit of a 1920s, 1930s, but then a little bit of that Ralph Bakshi 70s craziness to try to push the envelope, but you can't do too much as it's PG-13. It was supposed to be PG, but they got PG-13. And a lot of times, it's just cartoons doing random shit. Like, two characters are walking and talking, and then there's a random cartoon doing a thing to another random cartoon, then this cartoon doing something to another cartoon. And it's fun to watch if being a fan of cartoons and that old school style. But it's so much just randomness when that happens that you go, okay, kind of cool to see, but it loses a bit of its luster after a while. Honestly, when Brad Pitt's trying to talk to a cartoon, you know, the eyes don't really focus as much as it should. Like, the cartoon's here, but you can tell he's not looking at it, he's looking through it. And that's why Bob Hoskins had such a tough job to do on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the fact he did such a fantastic job of making it seem like he really was talking to Roger or all the other characters doesn't really get talked about as much as I think it should. It's not as easy as maybe people make it out to be. Just saying. Pretty much Brad Pitt at this point, he knows the area. He's the only human there. He's a cop. He has a partner named Nails, who's this spider type cartoon. Which I didn't mind him. I thought he was fine. For a cartoon character, he was fine. You have this humanoid female lady who I thought actually looked better than Hollywood, honestly. She was more my type. Although Hollywood, yeah, she looks sexy. She's a cartoon, but she looks sexy. Would you do it? Well, if you do it in this movie, it's the end of the world, so technically no. But if it wasn't the end of the world, sure, it'd be something to talk about. Hey, I got a story. I got a hell of a story. Can be very animated throughout the whole night. But Brad Pitt's character, because at the beginning, you get a little bit more development of his character, and he's in love with this girl, but they can't, it has to be platonic because a human in a cartoon can't have sex, otherwise it fucks both worlds up. Apparently. And Holly, played by Kim Basinger, is always trying to seduce, sometimes tries to seduce Brad Pitt, but now is always trying to seduce Gabriel Byrne's character. And you do get weird stuff as well. For example, when she finally does succeed in seducing Gabriel Byrne, like all the cartoons are looking, and you know, like they just know it's gonna happen, it's gonna be bad. Then it cuts to like this mom rabbit, and she's like, "A man is in the bedroom," and then it cuts to these two bunnies that I swear are like 10 years old, and they're giggling, and they just see hearts. And the reason I think that's weird is that technically that means these two female 10-year-old, 12-year-old bunnies know what sex is. Because their mom said there's a man in the bedroom. And hearts as in they want to fuck the guy? What am I led to believe in that scene, interpreting that scene? Do these 10-year-old bunnies want to fuck like rabbits? I'm not making this shit up. It's fucking there. You tell me. You tell me, please. I'm like, what the fuck is... I don't know. I don't know. It's like predecessor for Cooties? Or Cuties, sorry. Is this the prequel to Cuties? Cuties, the cartoon version? I don't fucking know, man. I just thought it was weird. That was weird. To say the least. But okay, again, what I like, some of the soundtrack I don't mind. I don't mind the soundtrack. Some of the songs. I don't mind the animation. I don't mind the imagination of the cool world itself. The way it looks, the way the buildings look, and some of the buildings has faces on them, and see, I think what you could have done, number one, do the initial idea, the horror R-rated film that Ralph Bakshi and the original writers wanted to do. Do that. Or, if you gotta do this, you don't need Gabriel Byrne. Have a cop movie in a cartoon world where Brad Pitt, I don't know, Blade Runner, but it's in a cartoon. Or something of that nature. This detective story, film noir or edgy detective story, where he's only human, he's in this world of cartoon, and now he has to go the ups and downs and lefts and rights of a cartoon world while being a cop. Maybe there's interesting stuff you could get out of that. But that's not the case. It's more about Hollywood wanting to fuck Gabriel Byrne. That's like most of the fucking film. After they fucked, boom, they're going to the real world. And then something's going on where Gabriel Byrne, Kim Basinger, is turned into a human. But then from time to time, they go from to the human, to the human, to the human. Brad Pitt, whose buddy, the spider guy Nails, he's been, you think, dead because Kim Basinger used this pen, this ink, to supposedly fuck up Brad Pitt's partner. Brad Pitt goes to the real world. Okay, before I go on, there is one bit I did enjoy, and it's it's humor that works because it pertained to the scene itself. It wasn't just cartoons doing random stuff, which could be fun for a while, but it just... This was cartoon doing something funny, but it's because it's part of the story, part of the scene, so it works a bit better. And that's when the spider cartoon Nails is trying to call Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's too busy, and the phone keeps ringing and ringing, and when the phone's ringing, it's running around going, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Is he over here?" And meanwhile, you just see all the ways Nails is waiting for this phone, even to the point that he's literally eating his own desk as getting more agitated, waiting like... That's also funny because we've all been there where you're on the phone and you're fucking waiting and waiting and waiting. Especially, like, for example, if you need to call your cable company or some other fucking company, internet company, you probably be waiting that long, or you're like, I eat this fucking phone if someone don't fucking pick up. I'll make you eat the phone. So that, I thought was fun. Like, stuff like that. But for me, that was few and far in between. And then even with Brad Pitt, he goes to the real world, gets with Gabriel Byrne, who realizes what's going on is wrong. And then this girl who, I guess, likes Gabriel Byrne because she saw him a few times across the way from the street. The finale takes place in Vegas. Kim Basinger wants to get to this spike on top of a building because that's going to supposedly turn her fully human. Instead, it's going to fuck up both worlds. Brad Pitt goes over to the real world and does nothing but go to a building, and Kim Basinger pushes him off to his death. Like, this is your star of the movie. This is the guy on the cover of the fucking film. In order to save the world, he does nothing. He did nothing to save the world. He fucked up, got pushed off a building by Kim Basinger, and died. Until it was convenient for him not to be dead. Because then Gabriel Byrne, the guy who we know jack shit about, the guy that we know this 1-2 sentences of, oh yeah, he killed someone 10 years ago. Because someone was in bed with his wife. That's like almost a throwaway fucking sentence. That's it. That's all we know about Gabriel Byrne. I'm supposed to give a shit. Oh, now he wants to be a hero. And now he's a heroic character. Okay. And then this ending that just goes off the rails where the touches the spike and then people are turning into cartoons, and then Gabriel Byrne turns to a superhero with a cape. Or, I don't know if he had a cape, but might as well have a cape. And then it's him dealing with Holly, and then ultimately he gets the spike in and they all go back in. And then Nails, the spider, gets out. Because apparently he wasn't dead. He was just trapped in the pen. So now he could get out of the pen. And then pick up Brad Pitt's dead body. Goes back to Cool World. And then apparently Nails, the cop, didn't know this. Brad Pitt's girlfriend says, wait, was when he died, was Holly a toon? Well, you know, when you get killed by a you become a doodle yourself. And I'm like, what? When you get killed by a cartoon, you become a cartoon yourself? Obviously not right away, I guess. You had to go to the car. What? Okay. Food for thought. If a cartoon kills you, it's alright, because you'll be back, but just as a cartoon. How the fuck that works? Just because. Just because. Like a lot of this movie. Just because. It's a movie that it doesn't want to go so far, so it holds back. But because it holds back, it's disappointing. Like, The trailers, the TV spots, the posters, all detail a film that parents are not going to take their kids. When they see a trailer, a TV spot, a poster where a girl is half-assed naked, ready to get naked in Tahiti, the mom and dad are not going to take the little fucking kids to go see it. So you're not getting that audience. And then someone who likes Ralph Bakshi or likes, I don't know, whether anime or Fritz the Cat or other stuff, they're going to go, wow, this time I was going to have sex and violence and more of an adult animated heavy metal, but it ain't fucking heavy metal either. It's like, you know what, fuck this, I'd rather go watch heavy metal from the 80s. So it's not a kid's cartoon, it's not heavy metal. What is it? As something that, for a good chunk, doesn't satisfy either side. And of course, now it's raining. This big fucking rain out of nowhere. Like God himself said, fuck this, don't talk about this fucking movie anymore. Okay, I guess I won't talk about the movie anymore. Okay, I guess I'm done talking about Cool World. Sorry, I pissed off God himself talking about Cool World. Literally, this whole of the rain just happened. Sorry, I pissed off God talking about Cool World. So I will not talk about Cool World anymore. Fuck the movie. If you liked it, cool. To me, it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity. Paramount Pictures should have just left him the fuck alone. Should have left Ralph Bakshi alone and let him do what the fuck he wanted. Just no. We hold back so it doesn't satisfy the people who wanted more. So it just becomes this. Let's put it another way. You can't get half pregnant. You're pregnant. You're not pregnant. You can't get half pregnant. You're one or the other. This tries to play both and satisfies neither. At least for the most part. I know there are fans of the film, but again, to me, it's a missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.